How's it going, everyone? So I have gotten asked since I started this channel like 2.5 years ago, and I really started covering Saab on this channel probably 2 years ago. I've been asked a million times by people both in the US, in Europe, in Asia, wherever, where do I get Saab parts from? If I buy a Saab, where can I buy Saab parts? So today, instead of continuing to give people a list of some good sites in the US that I like to use and many others like to use, I figured I would do a video briefly explaining probably about like 8 or 10 different sources I have here of different Saab part sites, whether it be OEM, aftermarket, and like secondhand stuff. So this video is not sponsored by any of these sites. These are just sites that I know off the top of my head, sites that I've used in the past or have had people, or I've heard people that have had good experiences with them. So that's why I'm including them in this video. I guess I should also mention that if you're in the US, this video 110% pertains and applies to you and your Saab. But if you're in Europe or Asia or somewhere else in the world, I get asked about international shipping. I'm unsure about international shipping on a lot of these sites, although if you check out, try and see what part you need or whatever, I'm sure it'll give you a quote on shipping. But there are other part sources or sites out there that are based in Europe or other places of the world. So there's really two big part suppliers out there that I usually use. And the first one of those is EEuroParts.com. EEuroParts is excellent. I mean, you can get anything that you need for, as you can see, your 9.3, your 9.5, 9.2X, 9.7X, your 900, 9,000, 9.4X. It has a very wide variety of Saab parts out there. It doesn't necessarily have those parts for like those super vintage Saabs. I know there are sites that you can get super vintage Saab parts from. I'm not going to talk about those in this video though. So I figure I should mention that EEuroParts is pretty much just OEM parts. They don't really do any aftermarket stuff on their site. But moving to EEuroParts, EEuroParts also offers aftermarket stuff. EEuroParts doesn't just have a Rio, they have a lot of other aftermarket brands. I'm not going to say one of these sites is better than the other one. I have had zero problems with all these with these two sites. I love them both. Everyone that's, they've both been providing me great customer service, and everyone else great customer service. So I'm not going to say one is better than the other. I'm just going to say that they're both great, and these are the two biggest ones that I would recommend for your part sources. But EEuroParts, same thing as EEuroParts. Anything for your like GM era Saab or even 900s, I think they have too. Just about everything that you would need, including some aftermarket stuff. And I'm gonna get into aftermarket stuff now because these are really the two big ones for OEM parts. So now let's talk aftermarket. So one of the big exhaust sites for Saab, and also he does Ford now too, is Crona. Crona, I have their mid-pipe and downpipe on my Turbo X. They have some great aftermarket parts for your Saab. So Crona is pretty much just exclusively exhaust, although he does also have some injectors and a strut brace on his site, but pretty much exclusively exhaust. Highly, highly recommend. Excellent quality products. So focusing on some aftermarket stuff that's not exhaust, we have DO88. DO88, I also have some of their products on my Turbo X. They're based in Sweden actually. All these other companies so far have been based in the US. DO88 is actually based in Sweden. But DO88 really offers a large variety of stuff, not just for Saabs, but for other cars as well. But really the biggest things they do are like all cooling products. So like radiators, intercoolers is a big one, air intakes, charge pipes, coolant hose kits. They do everything in that general realm of car parts, I guess you could say, all aftermarket stuff. Again, super high quality, highly recommend, definitely worth the price. Next up is Genuine Saab. Now Genuine Saab, I haven't used a whole lot before, but they do have a wide variety of both aftermarket and OEM stuff. So he's got his own exhausts on here. He's got like forged pistons and stuff like that. He's got some strut braces that are really good. He's got a good mixture of aftermarket stuff, but also some OEM stuff still on that site as well. Again, everything modern Saab, classic 900, 9000, 95s, 93s, even 92X on there. So all these sites are going to have anything for a modern, what I like to call a modern or a GM Saab. So anything that's like 1990s and forward, all these sites are going to have parts for. So moving more into the tuning side of things now, MapTune, which is also based in Sweden like DO88. doesn't only offer tunes, which I'm not going to talk about tuning in this video. I could possibly do another video where I talk about, you know, a bunch of different tuning companies for Saab. If that's something you guys would like, then let me know down below in the comments. But MapTune offers not only tuning kits, but they also have a bunch of different aftermarket stuff. They have their own exhaust as well. They have their own intercooler. They have their own intake filter and stuff like that. They have upgraded turbos, which I think are very similar to like the 19T or the 20T for the V6. So outside of that, they also have fuel systems, suspension, car body parts, so you can get like MapTune spoilers, MapTune diffusers. I should also mention Swedish Motorsports in this. Swedish Motorsports is basically a US-based MapTune dealer. So he'll do tuning, MapTune tuning, e-SIDs, all different MapTune stuff, and I think maybe Hirsch stuff too. You can check out that site as well at just swedishmotorsports.com or whatever. And now I want to move into the second-hand parts arena, I guess you could say. There are a fair amount of Saab junkyards out there. There's only one that I'm going to talk about in this video because there's only one that I really know and I'm comfortable with saying this is a good place to go, and that is Southwest Saab. It's located in, of course, Southwest US, a couple miles north of me in like Paulden, Prescott area, Arizona. He's got probably like half a dozen to a dozen Saabs there at any given time that he's parting out. So he's got 9.3s and 9.5s there pretty much, as you can see in the picture here. Very helpful and very knowledgeable, so if you do ever need some sort of second-hand Saab parts, if you can't necessarily afford a new one or you're being really cheap, Southwest Saab is definitely a great source. Like I said, there's other Saab junkyards out there, most of them on the East Coast. If you do have any personal recommendations for Saab junkyards, then certainly leave them down below in the comments. I'm interested to hear what other ones are out there. So one other site that I should mention is EEuro. They do OEM parts as well, so similar to Saab Parts. Not really anything aftermarket, but they're just original Saab parts, I guess you could say. Good site. So these last two I'm going to talk about, I have zero experience with. These are just sites where I literally searched Saab Parts on Google and they came up, and I figured, I guess I'll include these in the video. They look semi-legit at least. So this first one is called Saab Parts Depot. It just looks like a generic Saab Parts site. It looks like it just about everything. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary really. So yeah, if you're for some reason really trying to save a penny or two, I don't know if their prices are any cheaper. I don't know where their parts come from necessarily, if they're EEuro or if they're like true OEM or what, but you could also check them out if for some reason all these other awesome sites aren't good enough. Another one is Rock Auto. I've heard a few people use Rock Auto before. This site, first off, looks like it hasn't been updated since 1992, but if I just come under here, I do like 2.8 V6, let's say I won, I don't know, say I won an oil filter. I mean, they've got all this stuff right here, incredibly cheap, surprisingly. This is the first time I'm seeing this. This is fairly cheap. Problem with Rock Auto though is, from what I can see right now, is that these oil filters, just as a particular example, are not OEM filters. These are just some generic, like, kind of like a one-size-fits-all oil filter. I mean, it'll fit into your car, but it's not like the good quality that you probably should be buying for your Saab. So Rock Auto, another site out there, I'll just throw in there, I guess. So there you have it, guys. There's like 8 or 10 different part sources for Saabs in the US and North America, I guess, as a whole. If you do have any significant sites or other places that you've gotten parts for in the past, leave those down below in the comments. Help the community out. That's really why I'm doing this video, for people who are just getting in the Saab and don't know where to buy parts from. Like I said though, Saab Parts and EEuroParts, if you're looking for just OEM or just stock parts versus not getting aftermarket, EEuroParts and Saab Parts, definitely the two I would go with. So that's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. I'll see you all next time.